Right on, bro.
Awesome.
You know what? Put the camera on me right now. Go ahead.
Please don't. I cannot.
Put the camera on me.
No.
Huh?
Don't.
I'm brushing my beard down.
No.
All right. Up in the corner on the
Jesse's
top left, we
Jesse's
got
naked.
Eddie Alvarez. Jesse's naked on the moon. Or flying around in space or something.
God.
That's awesome. I see Eddie Alvarez, Deborah.
Chad and Amy.
Hey, Deborah. Natalie Eva Marie.
I'm here.
She's logged on.
Miss Penny's on here.
Yep. There's Najist 18.
Brooke, Matt D, Allie, Kelly,
Von Lewis.
Adam,
Amber.
Christian.
Rena's iPhone. I see you, Rena.
Hi, Katie.
Mike the Glock Ness Monster. What's up, Glock Ness?
Matt M. Chuck Zamzao. Rachel.
You know, this Adam M guy looks really happy and friendly. He looks like a really nice guy. Doesn't he? You see him?
Hmm?
Adam M.
Yeah.
This looks like a nice, wholesome
Oh, Charlie's on.
guy. I see
Aaron.
A Ron from the 808. 808, 808, 808.
There's another 808. Aaron's in the house, too.
That's what I said, A Ron.
Oh, wow. Oh, geez.
What? No, but it's funny that Natalie didn't know
I
what
know, I didn't.
A Ron.
Yeah.
What's it from? All right, put it up on the screen. What were we gonna do? Oh, yeah, guys. We were on live. Were any of you guys on the live? I know I saw Von Lewis. I saw Jesse. If there's any questions that you have, I'm willing to answer them right now about Natalie's personal life.
So insane. He's literally
just
out of control.
Go ahead.
He has this 2026 crazy energy, and we're not here for it.
Go ahead and put any questions you have. Anything who is she dating right now? To
He's absurd.
What's happening inside of therapy? Has she been to the gym or not been to the gym?
If they follow my stories, they know I'm up in the gym.
Willing to answer anything right now. You know what's crazy is nobody is putting a question up there. It's like, where?
Has she started therapy yet?
How much?
Watch Patreon for that. How much is she lifting? What about Chad's life? How's therapy going?
She didn't clear any dating prospects here. Right, Matt. Exactly.
That's because the pool is slim. Zero. Nada. Am I dating anybody? I'm not.
Not anybody that she ran by us. So. Yeah.
I don't know if this is the correct crowd to run things by.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome. This is our first meeting of 2026. I don't know about you guys, but my 2026 theme is, what was it again?
New year.
New year.
Wow.
New me.
You cannot forget your theme.
Fail.
Wow. He literally just said it.
I know. I just forgot.
It's a really solid theme, clearly.
Oh boy. All right, let's get this party started. Enough. I'm starting to sweat.
Yeah. Exactly. I can't wait. I cannot wait till we open it up and you guys can ask me all the questions of Chad's personal life, and I will be gladly to answer.
Live on
Exactly.
Ask them. Go ahead. Ask away. Thank you guys again, and welcome 2026. I mean, this is awesome. This is our first meeting of the year. We really appreciate you guys showing up for us and for yourselves every single Tuesday night to recover out loud with us. You know, if we don't recover out loud, people die in silence. Like, people don't know that recovery exists. It's 2026 and people should know. You know, people don't know that help is available. And I do want to point out, just because we're on here and we're recovering out loud, truly though, we're not breaking any of the traditions of Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous. Usually when I'm up on here, I work a 12-step program, but I'm not a representation today or any day that I'm on social media of Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous. But I do want you guys to know that there's a program out there that works, and there's many ways to recover. So come and continue to recover out loud with us.
Mm-hmm. My parents are on, and they just text me saying they cannot, their video isn't working. I'm like, can you guys just hit the little feature that says start video? Come on, guys. Come on, Mom and Dad. This isn't your first Zoom. You'll get there.
Big Naps just turned his camera on. What's up, Big Naps?
Hi, Big Naps.
I love to take big naps on the weekend. I am down for that. A nice big, especially Sunday after a good leg workout, Big Naps is in the house. What else? I want to just remind everybody why the Hopeaholics podcast exists, because I literally wouldn't ever have done this or wanted to do this, but on 9/11 of 2022, I lost my son-in-law to fentanyl, and changed the whole trajectory of my life. It changed Natalie's life like crazy. The chick was like wrestling in the WWE.
Living in Texas. And now her life is recovery, this podcast, and helping people save their lives and change their lives. I moved all the way back to Cali.
Yep. So I think that's pretty dope. I often say this at the end, but I'm going to say this at the beginning this time, that, my son-in-law, Justin, gave up his seat so that others can have theirs. So please don't give up yours,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. You got anything else before we?
Just my usual, adding on to, we're grateful for everybody that joins every single week. And also we recover out loud to break the stigma. And there's no shame in asking for help, and that help is available and hope is alive. So when you reach out for help is the initial heavy weight to start the journey of something that is possible. And we're all sitting, everybody at this table or in this room is a testament of what can possibly happen. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
And people have this picture of what an addict or an alcoholic looks like in their head. And I look around at this Zoom, and you guys look like everybody else in this world. So that's part of breaking the stigma. They think that we look different. But I'm gonna talk about our guest Michelle for a second, because I look over at Michelle and I haven't heard her story yet, and I'm excited to hear it. But I would never in a million years, if I saw you at the grocery store, be like, you're an alcoholic or an addict. She looks like somebody that probably would have been a teacher at my school.
No, totally.
I can't wait. Anyways, let's turn it over to Michelle, because I'm really interested to hear her story.
Before Michelle, you go, I just have to give a shout out, because Matt M just put in the chat that my dad already has his hand raised for the dance. We're not there, Dad. We're not there yet. It's at the end of the meeting, but we're here for it. We're glad you're excited, and we're glad that you guys figured out how to turn your camera on.
Also my mom and dad show up every week, and Natalie's parents show up. How awesome is that? Right. I think they show up primarily just to make sure that we
are here.
Yeah.
Doing our job. In the place that we said that we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Tracking it.
Exactly.
Checking in on us.
The other thing, Chad's about to turn 52 on Thursday. We just celebrated his dad 90th this past weekend. My parents came out here to celebrate that amazing milestone. But I'm 41 years old. He's about to be 52, and our parents still, it doesn't go away. No. It doesn't go away. No. But at least today they get to watch us sit here and speak about something that at one point in time, I'm sure that they definitely could not say the same.
Yeah.
So
And
today is
hopefully
great.
be proud, right?
Yeah.
You know, like,
Exactly.
because like we do recover.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing I really like to remind all of us is we do recover.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Michelle, the microphone is yours.
That was like really heavy
Like the drum
anticipation,
roll,
right?
The silent drum roll.
Jeez.
All right. All right. My name is Michelle B., and I'm an alcoholic.
Michelle.
So I got to tell you, when I first came into the program, I did not have a story. I was young. I was 20-something, and I had done another geographic. And this time I thought, you know what? I never should go to that country again because they drink like fish. And yeah, I didn't know I was an alcoholic. I didn't get arrested. I didn't do all of those things. But what I'm really grateful for is they told me not to compare my story, but to compare the feelings and the reasons why I drank. I got put into a step study immediately and into the book immediately, and I needed it. Because as I listened and as I became a part of and as I heard people's stories and as I watched people and heard people become vulnerable and teachable and share the things that I would never have shared in public, let alone a friend, and slowly watch them change, I started relating. And then suddenly I was not alone, and I started to put my story together. And my story was that I was raised in Oregon in a very conservative, quiet household, where it was better to be seen and not heard. And I felt as if I were in a pot of roots where the pot was too small for my roots. And I had a lot of rules. And I learned really early on to ask for forgiveness and not permission, because the answer was always no. And I wanted to know things, and I wanted to experience things. And so I learned how to break the rules and go unseen. And slowly but surely, my first drink was I went to homecoming when I was 15 with a boy that I had a crush on for 2 years, obsessed with him. And so we went to the homecoming dance, but on the way there, we decided to stop at a park, and I had my first beer. And we went with his friend, and I brought a friend, and the older brother drove us. And I immediately drank as much as I could because I was extremely uncomfortable. And by the end of the night, I was making out with his best friend. And that's where alcohol led me. I would go thinking I was going in one direction, and I would end up somewhere else. I always had a plan, and it always went to crap. And so, so then progressively, I wanted to do that again as soon as possible. And I started making friends. That was the other thing. I started making friends who drank like I did and who could get it. And by my senior year, I was expelled from high school a month before graduation. I had over 30 skips in all of my classes, and none of my friends, I had different groups of friends, so none of them knew just how much I was drinking or smoking. And that's exactly how I liked it. I like to float from group to group to group, and I don't like them talking to each other. And, it's more mysterious that way. And so when I was expelled from high school, I decided that, you know what, I really need to leave. It's my parents' fault. So I moved with my grandmother, and I finally graduated high school, and I went dry for a year. And then when I finally graduated my second senior year, I decided that I was really good with kids. And so I decided to move to the East Coast and become a nanny. So I moved to New York, and for a year I was dry. But as soon as I could, and as soon as I was legal, I started drinking a lot of controlled drinking. My dream was to become a National Geographic photographer. So I worked as much as I could. I saved my money, and then I traveled. And I went across the States a couple of times. And I finally, on the way to Australia, because that's where I was going, I met a guy. And that's also what I did. Because when I love to distract myself, I think they're going to fix me. You know, they'd be good for me. I always pick my relationships as they'd be really good for me. They, you know, they have their shit together, or stuff together, sorry. And so I met a guy on the way to Australia. So I only stayed in Australia for a month. And I decided, because he was the one, that was the other thing, I was looking for the one. I left Australia and went to the North Island of New Zealand. And I moved in with him in his mother's garage because we were meant to be together. I was very delusional in my thinking. And yeah, so we lived in his mother's garage. And for a while, I was good. He was athletic. He did Taekwondo. He liked to ride his bike. I thought we're perfect. And until I met my crowd, until I met my people, I started working in a cafe that played live music 7 nights a week. I was a waitress, and I was around photographers and artists, and I was at home. And then I really started drinking. And what I also learned about myself is that, you know, everything's great until I catch a resentment. And when the going gets tough, I take off, you know. So I'm really good at cutting my ties, and I'm out of here, and then starting over. I'm really good at getting jobs and getting in relationships, but keeping jobs and keeping relationships was where I wasn't good at. And so I ended up moving to a very small town in Owakuni, New Zealand. And I got a job writing the news, because I'm also a writer. And I got fired because I went out drinking. I forgot to write the news. I'm supposed to hand it to the manager. And then the manager reads it, proofreads it, and then hands it to the DJ. And I just gave it directly to the DJ. And it was on this drunken rant about some deer farm nearby, because I was vegetarian at the time. And so they fired me. And I was shocked and appalled. And I was very offended. And but so then I had to do another geographic, you know, because it was their fault. It was them. But what I learned about myself in the next few months is that when I had a choice between whether I had enough money for food or for liquor, I chose liquor. And I drank so much that I was throwing up blood, and then would sober up just enough and then start all over again. And so what I ended up doing is asking for help, this family I used to work for. And I called them in New York, and they said, you know what, we miss you. We're gonna send you some money, and you can come and then work off the money. And I said, okay. And so they sent me the money, and I went, woo, drinks on me. And I partied hard. I went full out, and I drank all of the money. And that's a lot of money from, you know. Anyway, and so, and there I was again. I was drinking so much, I was throwing up blood. I wasn't eating. And I had a weird rash on the back of my knees. I was tore up. And so they had called and said, hey, what happened? And, you know, and we're really good at lying. And I said, you know, things came up. Things, you know, I had some bills, and they came up, and they said, okay, we're sending you a plane ticket. And they really were my first Eskimos. They were the ones that really helped me, really saved me. It wasn't my family. By that point, I was, you know, disconnected with my family. It was these people. And so they sent me a plane ticket. I went back to New York, and I literally blamed the country of New Zealand for my drinking. Don't go there. They drink like fish. Like, it was, you know, I warned people not to travel there. And wherever you go, there you are. So I brought all of me with me to New York. And then immediately I was like, you know what I need? I need a boyfriend. And so I, you know, picked my boyfriend who drank just like I did. And within 2 months, I was starting to really black out. I was doing a lot of controlled drinking, and, you know, still trying to friggin' be a nanny. And I knew, because I also write, and I'd been writing in my journals, there gets to be a point where when you're writing and you're doing brain dumps or you're just getting all your things out on paper, you start to see patterns. And I could start to see where the same feelings, the same emotions, the same situations, but they were different jobs, they were different people, they were different places, but the same feelings. And I started seeing that, the common thread was me. Somehow it was me. And it didn't matter what kind of self-help or what kind of Tony Robbins CDs I was listening to, like all the things. I was looking to trying to figure out what was wrong with me. Why is this happening to me? Not putting it together that it was my drinking. Well, this last boyfriend, someone bet him that he couldn't quit drinking for a month. And I was so codependent. I'm like, that's great. Let's do it. We didn't last 3 days. And then we were drinking. And so I ran into someone who I had known before, and there was something very different about him. And he said, listen, and he said, I heard that you went, out of the country. I said, yeah. And he said, how was your trip? And he used to be so mean to me. So mean. He used to call me Sybil. Sybil, what are you doing in my bar? And then depending on how much I had to drink, he would get a different reaction. He would either be like a cat, or it would be, I would burst into tears. And so I was really surprised by his behavior. And I said, what's happened to you? You're totally different. He says, I have 9 months of sobriety. I go, what do you mean? And he started telling me about how he goes to meetings and he's sober now. And, and meanwhile, yeah, he wasn't like a saint. He was still in bars trying to pick up chicks, right? He hadn't completely changed, but there was something very different about him. And so the more I drank to get the high that he had naturally, the more I realized he has something I want. And so I eventually, one night when I drank so much Jägermeister, I was absolutely sober. I had this moment of clarity where I'm looking at my so-called best friend and my so-called boyfriend really flirting with each other. And I had that moment of clarity. I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? And who are these bitches? And I asked him, I said, I think I want to go to one of your meetings. And it ended up being a young people's meeting, because I was young back then, a young people's meeting in Mamaroneck, New York. And I went there, and the men stuck with the men, and the women stuck with the women. And so he shuffled me over to a bunch of women. They all surrounded me, got me a big book, and they got me all the things, and they gave me their numbers. And immediately put me in the front row, and I hopped in the back of their pocket, and all of them. And they took me from meeting to meeting to meeting. And even though I didn't necessarily relate right away, there was something that kept pulling me. And I remember one time in the beginning, I said, can I just say I'm a slacker? Can I just say... And this one woman said, if you don't think you're an alcoholic, why don't you go out there and do some controlled drinking? I was offended. I was so offended, and I went back to my friends, and I'm like, you would not believe what this person just said to me. And they all agreed. And then I later learned that it's in the big book, right? I'm like, oh. And the reason and then I thought about it. I had tried doing controlled drinking. That's all I ever tried to do was control my drinking. I would start one place and end up somewhere else. My favorite thing to do in New York was to go out with my friends, and then at some point get so drunk I'd ditch my friends, and then I'd hit the Bronx and I'd go to some Italian or this Irish bar without any of my girlfriends, and I love to ditch my friends. And I was so... I would always think about the combination and, okay, tonight I'm only going to do, Amstel Light. I'm going to go Coors Light tonight and not do the shots and definitely not go out in the parking lot and smoke pot, because that really, all the things. And it never worked. And my feelings, so in the early part of my sobriety, I went to meetings, I went to 90 and 90, and I finally remember the day that I said, I'm actually an alcoholic. Like, I can't do controlled drinking. It's what happens when I take that first drink. It's the thinking behind the drinking and the reasons why, and then my story started to come together. And what I ended up doing is I ended up getting some sobriety, and that family that rescued me, they ended up moving to Los Angeles, which is how I ended up here, and I immediately got plugged in. I went to meetings, and I got a sponsor, and my life was unbelievable. And then after about a year of sobriety, I met a boy, and he was a really nice boy, and I was soon sentenced to parenthood, and we ended up getting married. We've been married 30 years.
Wow.
Wow.
I know. And he had 2 years, I had 1 year, and we lived a beautiful life. We had 3 kids, the house, all the things, and I went to meetings and I sponsored people, and I plugged in. And then what happened is I got this incredible, beautiful life, and at 23 years, I got high. And the reason for that is because I really felt as if I had absorbed all of the program. I was the program. I was sober. I had this cookie cutter life. I had success with my writing. I had success with my photography. I had success with all these things. And I had these through, the house, the cars, all the things. And I got so busy in my life, the program stopped being a priority. We were outnumbered, and we were doing the thing. I was a soccer mom. I was doing all the things. And then one day when I went up to visit my daughter in college, I was actually showing up to say goodbye to a dying uncle. And I went to visit my daughter in college, and I walked downstairs of her apartment, and her friends had just packed a bowl. And they looked at me and they said, "Do you want to get high?" And without a second thought, I said, "Why, yes, I do. Thank you for asking." And I smoked the entire bowl in one hit. Said, "It's like riding a bike," was my quote. And they were very impressed, but the obsession kicked in. The obsession kicked in. And what I got to learn from that experience is that I'm an alcoholic, and all mind-altering substances I have to stay away from. I have an addictive personality. I want to be other. And so I have to work diligently in my program and stay in the middle in order for me to stay.
Yeah.
And so after a little while, as it progressively got more and more, as if, because I was in Oregon at that point, and it became legal down here. I mean, it was delivered like pizza, for crying out loud, I started realizing, I started to see the same thinking happening. I started seeing the addictive behavior. I started seeing the manipulation. I started little things, slight things, like, it's okay if I steal this plate right now, because I paid for this resort, and then stick like the little tiny clues that I'm on the fringe, and then starting to think about, what, I'm going to hang out with these soccer moms because they like to wine taste. I think I'm going to do wine tasting now. I never did wine tasting, but yet I'm starting to, my brain, I start recognizing, I had enough program in me to know. And so I started going back to my meetings. And I'm going to tell you right now, there is no shame in the keep coming back thing. If you are struggling, there's no shame in you keep coming back. Because when you are in a meeting, when you are doing recovery, you are in the solution.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're a retread. I don't care there is no shame in it. It took me a year and a half of keep coming back, of coffee commitments after coffee commitments, me showing up high. Man, I was high. I would giggle and point at people and take their inventory, but I kept coming back. And people would ask me, "So how much time you have?" And I'd be like, "Shut up, just back off, And I would tell them, I'm just doing the keep coming back part of this program, right? Letting them know, and eventually, when I stopped a la carting the program, when I stopped I'm going to get a sponsor, but I'm not going to do this. I need someone who has to have at least 24 years in order for me to talk to. Like, I would go home. I would literally go home, and my husband would ask me, "How was your meeting?" I go, "Yeah, it was all right." He goes, "Did you find a sponsor yet?" I go, "No, none of them have as much time as I do." And he goes, "No one has 5 minutes," because I literally had just gotten high in the shed before I came into my husband, right? No one has 5 minutes. And I'm like, oh, it took me a while for me to fully concede that I was a newcomer again, that I had to start over from ground one. My ego would not allow it. And so I know what it's like to feel that sense of pride and that, to... All right, and I think that's my cue to wrap.
No, you
yeah,
can
just
keep going.
Can wrap
Yeah,
it up,
yeah,
buddy.
Yeah,
Keep
I'm
going.
wrapping it up. So that being said, I came back in and I started to do all the things. And in January 22nd, I will have 8 years back.
Wow.
And I am forever grateful. And it's the women in this program, and it's by showing up and doing the next indicated step, and also by doing all the things that have kept me sober. So that's my story. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michelle B, I love it. I love your story. It's another testament of like how important it is to stay in
The center of the herd.
Yeah, because
right?
it's so easy. Like it is crazy how we tend to be so desperate at the beginning and cling on and do all the things that are suggested, and then all of a sudden, wow, we get a beautiful life. And then the first thing that I like to put aside is the one thing that gave me everything.
Right?
And you just hit the nail on the head, having 23 years and being I am the program, to all of a sudden it takes one little second, and then all of a sudden, certain things start to happen from the plate situation or just like our shady thoughts start to happen and start to appear. And I really love the fact, and we kind of preach it till we're blue in the face, because we've seen it not only within our own selves, but other people in the program, where it's like there's no shame in your relapse and retread and coming back.
Mm-mm.
All that matters is
And
that you keep coming back.
struggling and struggling, because like that was me.
Yeah.
I'm not the guy that walked into the rooms and got it day one. I got 3 years, then I went out. I got 9 years, and then I went out. And then I struggled for like 7 years, just like in and out. But I kept coming back. Because you want to know why I kept coming back? Because the very first meeting I ever went to, and I sat down, they handed me the leader thing, and then they started reading the readings at the beginning of the meeting, and I was like, they've been following me around. and I wasn't paranoid back then, you guys. I wasn't full blown working for the CIA yet. I had just barely signed up for it.
But I think it's important, because so many of us, including I'm sure at some point in time in your story and definitely in mine, I didn't want to go to meetings because I was so embarrassed of like having to be a newcomer again.
Oh, the shroud of shame.
Totally. And like the looks and the oohs
man.
and the ahs and the stuff where it's like, fuck.
And I had to change my friends, some of them too, because I was feeling like crap anyway. I did not want to be aware that you felt like crap about my relapse.
Oh, I'm
Totally.
with you on that one,
For
100%.
Right?
So true.
No.
I hid, and I'd say I go to meetings again in this area, but like I hid in meetings in like I in Costa Mesa. I hid in meetings I would go to AA, and I'm really like, that's not my that's not my spot. But yeah, and because people, they always want to come up and say something, and I didn't like it.
I hated it. And also, don't make me feel weird that I fucked up. Like, why are you being weird because of like my bad decision? Like, you're doing the deal.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like so important when
What
I
are you
see
gonna
any
do
new.
different this time.
Oh yeah, that's annoying too. Like obviously a lot. Obviously I need to do a lot because it wasn't working. So I need to do the things that are suggested. But I think that's why it's like so important, especially with like everybody that's in like our facilities and stuff. It's like, welcome back.
Yeah.
Like fuck yeah, let's
Yeah.
ride.
Yeah.
Like that's it's
We
so-
celebrate.
We celebrate.
We celebrate.
Yeah. I have a friend that I don't even ask her how much time she has. I know she struggles in and out, and I don't care. Like,
Because we're
What
gonna
does it
tell you.
matter?
Because when it's right,
Because what we have is 24 hours.
Yes.
absolutely.
That's actually all we have.
it is.
You know, and like if I tell you, that I have 8.5 years of continued sobriety, that's fine and dandy.
Right.
But like, if what's more important is what did I do today?
Yeah.
For my recovery, because we talk about it too, and it says it in the books. You can't rest on your laurels.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do today's recovery on yesterday's work.
No.
I'm
yeah.
doing it a la carte, like you said.
Yeah.
It just
I
we've
just-
heard too many stories, and even with
And I'm not willing to give up my seat again.
No.
Mm-hmm.
no.
So I'm not willing to not do work
Yeah.
on a daily basis.
Right.
Like at minimum, I'm doing the third and seventh step prayer. That's at minimum.
Right. Right.
That's happening for sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is a daily, let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I will admit, live on
Oh, this is
camera,
gonna be good. Here we go.
that I do the Alcoholics Anonymous third and seventh step prayer
Yes,
because
he does.
because I like it.
Yes, he does.
Because it's way better. Like the NA one is so short. This is the NA third step prayer. It doesn't even say God, which I don't like. Take my will in my life, guide me in my recovery, and show me how to live.
Yeah.
That's the NA.
Very poetic.
You want me to do the Alcoholics Anonymous third step prayer?
If you
God, I offer myself to thee, to build with me and to do with me as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self,
That
so
I might
better do thy
will.
will.
mm-hmm.
Have
Take away
my
my difficulties, that
victory
victor
over
over
them
them may bear witness to those I would help of thy power, thy love, and thy way of life. May I do thy will always.
Amen.
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 What a beautiful prayer that one is right there.
Yeah.
It sounds like something straight out of the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Joe B, what's up, my man? See, you got your hand up. You ready to rock and roll?
What's going on, guys?
Joe B.
How are you? Happy New Year, everybody. Third step prayer is dope.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Say it every morning, but they don't say amen at the end of it. It's connected to the seventh step. You say amen after the
Yeah,
seventh
you're
step.
right.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
right.
okay,
You are
okay.
110% right.
But still, it's okay. Say amen as much as you want. I'll walk around the gym right now. Amen. How are you? No problem. But yeah, it's a good prayer because it takes yourself out of the equation. That's why I like the 11th step prayer, the prayer of St. Francis. That's a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
Make me a channel of thy peace. I really liked your share. Was it Michelle? Is your name?
Yeah, Michelle. Michelle
She's
B.
a Michelle B. Like Joe B.
Michelle B, like Joe B, living in New York, going to with what they say in the book, fair weathered friends
Mm-hmm.
in New York, going to places you never dreamed you'd end up. Yep, been there. Pretty crazy. Great qualification. Kind of happy you mentioned the relapse because at first everything sounded so good. I'm like, it can't be. She's a one and done, no way. and then you told me about the relapse at 23 years. And that's what I'm listening for right now because my life is really, really good and I'm thriving and it's going to get so much better. And I have to remember, I'm not going to say play the tape of my life when I was active because I know I was a shit show. It's when life is good
Yeah.
and my life is now manageable. Can I drink?
Yeah.
Can I just test it a little bit? Can I control it? No, I can't. But when life gets shitty, I can't sit there and say, what am I doing wrong? It's what did I stop doing right? What did I stop doing right? So did I stop going to meetings every day? Did I stop doing my inventory? Did I stop reaching out to others? Did I stop praying? Did I stop reading? These are all the things that I noticed last year in December when I struggled for a couple of days. And then in January when I struggled for a couple of days. And I didn't relapse. I actually almost had 2 years and I struggled. I will always struggle if I don't stay in the middle of the triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Convinced of that right now.
Absolutely.
Convinced of that. And it's a blessing that I had to learn.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm breathing while I'm walking.
Yes,
And I'm
I think we all do.
Thank goodness for that, man. You
Glad
like,
you're breathing.
I'm not sure you'd be
Keep
walking.
breathing. Don't hold your breath.
I was holding my breath for like 45 seconds. I almost collapses now in the gym. But yeah, I had to learn from other people's mistakes. My shelf life as a drinker was 41 years old. That's it. I wasn't supposed to make it past 41. I got lucky. Now I don't want to test that theory. I want to continue doing what I'm doing. And I need to be reminded by people who, you said 23 years, you lived recovery and you still fucked up.
Yep,
It's
thank you.
possible to fuck up.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean
I
that
know.
thank God you said that. I needed to be reminded of that.
No.
So thank you. And Papa Nem, Nat, your
Yes.
dad, is he on?
He's on.
It's the year of the stallion, bro.
You
It's the year of the horse.
know, yeah, boy. You know. You know.
All right, I love you guys. I got to run.
Love
Thank
you,
you
Joe.
so much.
Thank you.
Love
Ciao.
you.
Thank you.
Cass.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cass. I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Cass.
Hi, thank you so much for holding this space today. So it's kind of wild. So, if I'm not mistaken, Michelle B is a part of the sobriety capital of the world,
Yeah.
aka Covina. And I've never heard your story before. And I've been like running around this group for a solid 5 years now. So it's so awesome to finally hear your story. And you know, it's so wild to me because when I first got here, my first meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous, I walk in and it's a bunch of like older white guys and they're all dressed in suits about to go to work. And I'm like, what the fuck is this a setup? Like, what is this? You know, like, I'm like, there's no, like, you don't look like me. There's no way you can understand me. And, you know, one of the guys was like, why don't you just sit down and shut up?
Oh,
And I'm like,
nice.
ill, you know? And so I did. And the guy starts sharing and looks nothing like me and literally described how I felt inside to the T.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you literally like reached in and grabbed my insides and like spit them out of your mouth, you know? And at that point, like I started to listen, you know? And so I think like my God is so funny because my sponsor looks nothing like me. You know, you look nothing like me, and I can relate to so many of the things that you shared, right? Like anytime I got into some mess, you know, like my second DUI with my daughter, I'm like, this city is so racist. And, you know, if I wasn't in Glendale, then I wouldn't have got arrested. And like, no, bitch, if you didn't have 10 lemon drops while you were at the bar and try to drive, then you wouldn't have got arrested. You know, like, let's start there, you know? But I'm so grateful that I don't have to live that way anymore, you know? And I'm so grateful that I didn't just get what I came to this program for, because I came here, you know, court card, CPS card, parents were tired of my shit card, wasn't a good mom card. Like that's all the reasons why I came to this program, right? And I wanted all of that to just go away. And what I got was this sense of peace that I have never known. And I wish I could bottle it up and sell it, because I probably wouldn't have to work again a day in my life, because the peace that I have today, it compares to nothing. And the crazy thing is that like I wouldn't trade it for a drink today. And that's like the real miracle, because like 5.5 years ago, I would have traded my mom for a drink. Like, let's just be real, you know, like depending on how desperate I was, you know? So like, it's just, I love that, that I'm a woman of my word today. I love that, my credit score doesn't look like my shoe size. Thank you for the timer. And like, I'm looking for a new place to live. And like, my credit score is not a problem. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, oh, that's like a normal human being credit score. Like I would have traded that shit with a homeless person back in the day, you know? So like, I'm so grateful for this program. I'm thankful for being able to hear your share today. And I hope I can like see you in person now, and I'm not going to be scared to come up to you.
No.
So thanks for your share.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Cass. Deborah.
Von Lewis got 9 months.
Ooh, yes, Von, that a boy.
Deborah?
Hi. Hey guys, Deborah, alcoholic.
Hi,
Thank
Deborah.
you
Deborah.
so much. Hi. Thank you so much for your share. And as soon as you said National Geographic, I laughed because when I was young, that was my favorite magazine.
Yeah.
I liked the tribal pictures because everybody had no
Mhm.
clothes on, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I looked at it.
First boobs many of us
I didn't
saw.
read the
Yeah.
articles. Um, you had mentioned you mentioned a lot. Um, I actually am from the Pacific Northwest. I live in the Pacific Northwest, Portland, Oregon,
That's where I was born.
and Vancouver, Washington area. Yeah. I'm originally from Hermosa Beach, California, so my partying took off in Hermosa Beach. Yeah. That's where it started. And I really thought like that's what you do. You get wasted. Like that's the thing
Mm.
to do. We did, or every day. More happy hour. This, I mean, it just didn't matter. There was Taco Tuesday. Wednesday had a theme. Thursday, it was just nonstop. I don't know if anybody's familiar. I was a cocktail waitress at Tequila Willie's back in Manhattan Beach, back when the Raiders played there. That'll tell you how I'm 57.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of going at it for a while, but I just want to say, I I struggled so much. Every obstacle I tried to put in front of admitting that I was an alcoholic, like the God thing, the this thing, the that thing. This can't be me. I don't look like you. I didn't do this. I didn't. I did all the things, and I've been going to. And thank you for talking about it takes what it takes kind of thing
Yeah.
because I've been immersed in AA for 4 years
Yeah.
straight. I just, I'm telling you, I do online meetings and pretty much every day, every day, every day, every day. And, oh boy. So today's day one, guys. And it just so happened that when I was, thinking, I said, oh yeah, you know what? I think there's a meeting on Tuesday nights. Happens to be today's the day. And this is my second time coming on here. I came on here probably like 5 months ago, something like that. But, I literally called AA hotline in 5 different states today. I just want to make sure that, across state lines that I was definitely an alcoholic. Just kidding. I really had questions. I'm like, can you just tell me? I just want to know. And then finally this, and I even said, I'm calling for a family member. And I got called out. One lady just didn't buy it. But that's the truth. You know what? I have a hard time. I've had a hard time with surrendering. Um I just the fighter in me has been through so many things. I'm like, what the fuck? I can't do this thing. I can't. I've done things. But this is really it's a progressive disease, and that's what it did. It started off as fun, and then it turned into something different. I'll end with this. I read a poem today, and this really touched my heart. It really touched my heart when it said, I wrote it down. Um, I said the thing said, "May the ones I love never feel left out." Just makes me like want to cry because truthfully, I do have ones that I love, and I never want them to feel left out. And the only thing that will separate me from that is my alcohol use. I said my alcohol. And I'm glad that you mentioned about the weed because that's a big thing here, and I'm like, well, I never have a problem with that. No, no, I'm not going to go there. Straight across the line, I want to be free of all mind altering substances because I want to prove to myself that there's a better version of me. And then I'm like, it's not too late, right? I mean, I'm getting older. It's not too late. I can do this. So thanks for letting me share.
Thanks, Deborah.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
And thanks for sharing tonight. Allie.
Hello, hello, Allie Alcoholics. Michelle
Allie.
is my Eskimo.
Allie Pop.
Michelle, that's me, Allie Pop.
That's right.
She could tell you wonderful stories about me. She is the first person that brought me back to the rooms this time.
Mm.
And I love Michelle so much. She did not know that I was still smoking weed. God is very funny how he works and sends you people. I was like, excuse me, I smoked before the meeting. I'm not disrespectful. Like, come on, guys. I'm good. I gave up kratom and drinking. Like, I'm Cali sober. I'm good. I was coming to these meetings, so this is such a full circle moment because I was still living with the kids coming to these meetings, and Michelle's on here. Michelle came to my yearly birthday, and I am really sober today, y'all. Like, I don't drink or smoke weed or call myself Cali sober. And like Michelle got me through that because like I remember throwing all of the stuff away that I had in my house and sending her a garbage picture. And truthfully, like did not think I could do it. Like I was sweating at night. I did not know you could go through like weed withdrawals. Like I don't know if I'm just like naive. And I'd be like, I want to punch the kids for being kids. Like, they're too loud. Like I can't deal with anything. I'm too old for this. I can't do it. Like I need something. She introduced me to my house owner where I live today. Like this woman like saved my life. She helped me so much, and I truly believe that God sent her because like I really thought I was sober. Like I was like I'm doing the deal. Like I'm working steps. And I heard her story and was like, "Oh my God, I'm not doing the deal. I'm not doing the deal. Just sitting on the sidelines." And like I just have such a respect for you, and I'm so happy I could be here today. I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful for my life today. I'm actually going on a panel soon, so I will have to jump off soon. But it's great to see you all, and yeah, I don't know, just love you all. Okay, bye.
We love you, Allie.
Love you.
Amazing. Jesse.
What's up, guys? I'm Jesse. I'm a addict, alcoholic, and then everything. Oh, wow. What an amazing share. Amazing story. There's so much there. So much there. I can relate to a lot of it. Yeah. I relapsed a couple times. Let's see, I think I got a year, and I relapsed, and then I got 2 years, and then I relapsed, and now I just got 3 years. So I'm being very vigilant of slipping back into my old ways. But I too, I remember I was told I was on my second sponsor at the time, and I was told, maybe you're not an alcoholic. I was like, what do you mean? What? Like, and he's like, well, why don't you go try some controlled drinking? Because I told him my little story and spiel, and I was so pissed. So pissed, but it was exactly what I needed to hear. I immediately switched sponsors because he was the problem, right?
Yeah.
But I learned a lot about myself. That like it wasn't ever about the drinking, and I was able to see that the way I was drinking was what made me an alcoholic, but it wasn't the alcohol. Because I never hit a bottom with alcohol. I never, you know, it just, I didn't have any of the yets. I was never drinking every day. I was a drug addict, not an alcoholic. Um, but because that sponsor told me that, I was able to, look at the way I drank. And yeah, I drank to escape. When I drank, it was like, how can I get feeling good without raising any red flags and no one realizing that like I'm trying to get drunk and then stay that way. But yeah, I came into the rooms thinking that I had a drug problem, and I went to AA because I wanted to stay away from other addicts, right? Because it was a difference. There was a big difference. Um, and I'm so lucky that the meeting that I went to, And the people that I met there, they were patient and they were just like, just keep coming back. I was drinking, I think, the first like 6 months or a year after I found the program. And even after in that time, I was like controlled drinking, right? Like I was partying, but it wasn't like destroying my life completely. So, and I was still going to meetings. Everyone knew, and I'm like, oh yeah, I was a heroin addict. Like, I could still drink. I had no idea. I had no idea. I tried to start the steps, and like I said, I was super lucky that the people in the rooms were just loving and understanding. And I remember the first time someone mentioned to me, like, maybe you should, maybe just try not drinking. And I'm like, what do you mean? Are you kidding? I don't have a problem with that. But yeah, it took me a while, and thanks to people like you and everyone in this room, for their patience and understanding that I kept coming back until I finally got it. And what I finally got is that I'm never gonna have it. I got to keep coming back. If it's not for me, then it's for the newcomer. It's for someone else, it's to be of service. But yeah, I've been talking a lot, so thank you guys. Love you all, and remember, there's no one right way to recover. So whatever you're doing, just keep doing it.
Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.
Vaughn, and then we end with big naps.
Oh, what's happening, family?
Hi, Vaughn. Happy 9 months. Big boy.
Thank you. Getting there one day at a time. All credit goes to the big man
There
upstairs.
you go.
Wow, Michelle, what an absolutely phenomenal share. Thank you so much for coming down and sharing with us. I really needed to hear everything you said tonight. Everything everyone said tonight. Shout out to everyone who got on and shared. Finding that safe haven where you can come back unashamed, unguilted, unjudged, not hated after you've already put yourself through the ringer and experiencing all that. That's literally the goal. And I have that with this family, of this crew here. I've come back with a relapse and a suicide attempt. And I had more love than I had ever expected. I had phone numbers. I had people reaching out to me. I had messages. And I had that sense of, you know what, you can keep coming back. And what's even better is that by all intents and purposes on paper, none of us would ever be looped together. None of us would ever be grouped together. We have nothing in common. We don't look alike. We don't talk alike. Hell, some of us don't even live anywhere geographically feasible. But through this program, we all have something in common, and that's that pain of hurt, of feeling unique, of feeling like no one gives a shit, like no one cares. We all know what that feels like, and we all know that you're not alone when we have each other. So I think this is pretty freaking rad that we can have such an amazing, diverse community of people that just want to root for each other, that want to care for one another, that genuinely give a shit about you and love you. And know that if you're trying your best, you can never fail. And if you do fail, at least you're failing in the right direction. My sponsor, Joe B, told me that the other day. So shout out, Joe B. Shout out to everyone on here. You guys are such a instrumental part of my recovery. Just from the group chat, the daily texts, the encouragement. When people don't hear from me for a minute, they check up on me and vice versa. Shout out to all of you. This family has truly been amazing, and y'all are family. I love all of you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for allowing me to participate in my own recovery.
We love you, Vaughn.
Thank you.
And don't forget to mention you're 7 feet tall.
Yeah, Joe B, of course, had to put that in there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you
He really is.
You men love you guys.
6'9", I believe, or 6'10", 6'9" or 10. Do a 9 or a 10, 9 or 6'7", 6'7".
No, don't,
no,
Chad.
no, 6'6".
New year, new you.
6'6".
Get out of here.
6'7".
Big naps. You're bringing us on home.
Okay, thanks. What's going on, guys? Let phenomenal story. It made me think a lot about myself, and I never thought I was an addict, right? Like I said before, I'm highly functioning, carry a job, have kids, and I go into prisons, do motivational speaking, health and wellness, train women. Um, and I didn't think about being an addict because that was never the root of my problem. It was always a coping mechanism for me to get through, like to decompress at night or to take a weekend and go get drunk with the boys and then back to functioning normal. And then one of the girls asked if we were addicts, that group that came in, and everybody else was like, yeah, like so easily. And it's kind of hard for me in these groups because I've been to AA. I've actually been kicked out of some AAs because I had called the group of people saying they were exchanging one addiction for another, which was sugar and coffee, or weed, drugs, coke, crack, whatever they did, and that was not taken very well. So this has always been a real hard part for me to, I guess, talk about. And I mean, to function the way I did, but to need weed to go to sleep at night, right? To feel stressed and anxiety ridden and have to take a couple hits. To feel like the only way I could cut loose was to go drink. That's being an addict, right? If we're being honest. And I've done it for a long time. I'm 46 years old. And I'm only 5'5". I'm not 7. So, but yeah, so this is my first time on. I just seen it on my phone tonight, and I thought I'd hop on and check it out. And it looks like an awesome, amazing group of people. But I guess we all are different. We all come from different walks of life, and our recovery is all different. I've yet to talk to anybody similarly situated as myself, to where that rock bottom wasn't hit using anything, but because most addiction and stuff that I've been involved in with other people's clients, it's really hammered their life, right? It's hammered them to rock bottom, and they've had to dig themselves out of very deep, dark places. I don't know. I developed coping mechanisms, and isolation is one of them, and working a lot is one of them. And I don't drink anymore. Like, it's been maybe 3 months. Weed, it's been like 7 months. So I don't know. I guess I don't know which way to go from here. So I thought I'd share, and thanks for letting me share.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing, man. We don't say there's Jesse said it. There's not one right way to recover. And whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I can just tell you that I love a life of being substance free.
Yeah.
It has been so beautiful for me, and I actually truly believe we're spiritual beings. I think Alcoholics Anonymous got it right a long time ago. Like doctors do all kinds of tests and all this craziness on us, but the truth is, man, we all trying to stuff everything and anything into a hole that only God can fill. And that is what I believe in. In Alcoholics Anonymous says that we have a spiritual malady. And when I really realized that's what was going on in my life, that's when I started to recover and heal.
Absolutely.
I just have one thing to say to you, Big Naps, is that something drew you to this meeting tonight, and I think it's really incredible that you shared and are walking your journey the way that you're walking. I mean, I see your shirt, it says work hard, trust God, and clearly, like, in my eyes, it's a spiritual experience for you to not only come on to our meeting tonight, but also raise your hand and be vulnerable and sharing exactly where you're at. And I kind of coining off of Michelle B's share is, you're in the right place, and all you got to do is keep coming back, because you're going to hear your story. Trust and believe. It might not feel like it, but it's amazing, because I've been into way too many meetings where people end up saying at some point in time they do hear their story, and then they understand either why they're in the meeting or whatever is going on. So it's like exactly what your shirt says is trust God. And like you're already doing like the little things, and maybe why you came on to our meeting tonight is because you do so much within your own community and like the institutions and things like that. So something was pulling on your heartstrings to come on tonight and share your story, you know? And you're already doing part of half the battle, removing the substance. Now the true work and the beautiful things start to unfold. So I'm really happy that you're here tonight, and I hope to see you again for sure.
I want to point out that Miranda Rodriguez is asking if anyone is sponsoring. Just want to point that out.
Oh, good job. Anybody for Amanda? If you're sponsoring, drop your
Miranda.
What did I say?
Amanda.
Did I say Amanda?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Miranda. Close to Amanda.
Very close.
My apologies, Miranda.
But
it's not.
You
But
know,
it's
like Jack is close to Chad, but I hate it when people
No,
call
it's
me
not.
Jack.
It's not
What?
at all.
It's
It's
not at
not?
all.
How
Jack
co-
and Chad.
Yeah.
Jack and Chad are
How
two
about like Chad and Chuck?
Chuck?
Jack. Jack and Chad.
So often when I introduce myself to people, though, I'll be like, "Hi, my name is Chad," and they'll be like, "Jack," and I'll be like,
What?
"No, I said Chad." Add.
That's like really actually bizarre.
Is it?
Kelly also is looking for a sponsor too. I know that Allie dropped her number in there, so you guys, I want to make sure before we hop off, that you guys get those numbers in exchange before we log off for you. And Wendy dropped her number too.
Is Joe B got his shirt off?
I don't.
Is he
I don't know.
nude?
He's
Is he
like
nude?
showering.
Are you showering?
Who knows?
Are
He
you in the
shaves his
shower?
face. Oh, he's tanning. He's tanning.
Whoa! You're in the tanning.
Oh no, he's doing red light therapy.
That's a tanning bed. Don't even get it twisted. Homeboy's nude right now, fully nude. Let's see. Show the camera.
Don't, Chad. National Geographic. No. You guys, we're past our time.
I've
It's
got to
already
know.
7:09.
I've got to know. Does he have clothes on? No.
Don't.
Don't stop. Don't
Yeah.
stop. That's always like my favorite. Like people say don't, and then they say stop, and then you're like, don't stop. All right, I won't. You all know that I won't stop unless Natalie puts her foot down.
Yeah.
Look at Alice. She looks so happy. She's smiling. She's like I just keep looking at Alice. She looks like she's having such a good time on this Zoom. Obviously it's just a profile picture, but it was making me feel good. Alice.
Wait, we got Alice's her She's looking to get added into our group chat. We have hers, right, Emily? Okay, perfect.
So the one I saw something about Baja.
Yeah, Baja
somebody-
91.
I literally couldn't find Baja. You know what? I might have put in Baja. You know what? I think you texted it to me. Baja 1995.
That's okay. She's dyslexic.
Instead
It's all right. But you guys, it's 7:10. You know what time it is.
Where is Baja 91, 95? You did?
Chad probably entered it dyslexic.
I know. I copy and paste usually if I can. We
Guys,
can find it.
We're losing people. They're on the East Coast.
Oh my God.
Julian's already going to bed.
Julian, are you okay?
Look at him. He's raising his. My dad too. They're already dancing. They're ready to go out.
Matt's tired too.
Matt is
All
too.
right, guys. I love
Okay.
you guys. Here's the big lie. We
Yep.
are the only Zoom meeting in the entire universe that dances out. Here's where it becomes not a lie that I know of. Because
Perfect.
I don't know any other
That's
Zoom
true.
meeting that dances out. So, Emily, cue the beat.
God,
grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.
Amen. Love you guys. See you next week. Or in the chat.